But I met her in Japan, and she was actually one of my, I think it was my first class that I did at corporate school. She was one of the students there. And just like after like numerous conversations that we had, I just realized like one, like her ambitions to, for education and to kind of like further apply herself was just amazing. And it actually motivated me to want to do something different because I felt like I was stagnant. Ladies and gentlemen, my special guest, Shannon Housel. I got my camis in the background, but you got your achievements in the background.
No, that one's mine. That one's mine. That one's Chris's. So.
Okay. I like it. Hey, one day I won't have the camis right there. One day I'll actually have something hanging up, and so did you officially earn your master's degree while you were active duty?
So active duty, I completed my entire bachelor's as a single parent, taking 6 classes each term, and I completed it in just under 2 years. And then my master's, I just need to complete one more internship and that'll be completed, but I'm also here in August going to start an additional master's.
See, I thought I was doing something. What was it like growing up?
Well, I was born in Pennsylvania, obviously. Like, if anyone knows what Utz is or Wiggy's Pretzels, that's where I'm from, Hanover. So
Okay.
Your capital. I was born and raised there until I hit 18. I did not like going to school as a child. I would actually fake being sick to get out of school. I was always farther ahead than everybody in my class. Like when I was in 2nd grade, I was helping my sister that was in 6th grade with algebra. It's always been really easy for me to learn. I can't actually do in-class sessions because I don't like sitting there being stagnant for so long. I like going ahead. So throughout elementary school, middle school, I didn't like going. I probably missed about 100 days each year. So I'm just happy I passed each.
Wait a minute. So 100 days? I mean, how many days do you go to school in a year? Like,
not many.
Jeez.
But all my teachers would let me make up my work, and I never failed a test. So they just figured I understood it and passed me along.
Right.
And then during high school, so I finished high school in 2 years instead of 4, because I knew if I stayed in high school, what's that face for?
2 years? Oh
Yeah.
my God. I wish I could have done that. You don't show up to school and then you finish high school in 2 years. It just makes me look back at my life and wonder like a little bit about my own self.
Well, my high school had the program where you could do full online classes and in-class studies. So I worked full-time while taking in-class classes and then online classes in order to finish, because I knew if I would stay in, I would have probably dropped out of high school. But another reason why I wanted to graduate so much earlier was because I wanted to enlist at 17. However, that did not occur because my mom said no. She would not sign the papers for me. So I ended up enlisting on September 26th, exactly 13 days after my birthday. And then I left December 2nd and told my family on Thanksgiving that I was leaving.
Okay, so the picture that I'm getting is, throughout your younger years, you're saying that you never really felt anything for education wise, but was there like a specific subject that like kind of like stood out?
Honestly, I always really liked science, but I didn't like the classroom setting. In class, you always have, it's like when you're standing in formation and that one lance corporal raises their hand and asks about robotics. Like, you don't want to be there for it. You just want to leave.
So I think I might have missed it as I was standing up. So did you actually like say, was there a specific subject that was like your favorite that kind of like stood out to you?
I like science
because
it's more hands-on and it's not like sitting in a desk staring at a board or reading a book.
Right. So you were like that one that was like creating all those like exploding volcanoes on the weekends?
I was more like like the one that got the like quarter stick of dynamites and attached it to RC cars and blew them up?
Oh, whoa. Okay. Hey, that's interesting. I didn't expect that one, but I like it though. I like it. I'm gonna be honest, as far as science, like I liked science, but I was never like, I liked more so of like end results. I didn't really like to study it that much or like doing the testing on it as much. But like, you know, watching other kids when they were doing like their experiments or whenever they had to do like a science project and I would watch it, I loved to watch the creativity of it. I don't feel like I ever had that creativity gene to where I could just kind of like recreate that on my own. But I like to see what other people were actually creating as far as like science goes. So
absolutely. That's one of the fun parts about it. Isn't just doing the project, but seeing the end results.
Right. Yeah, like those science fairs were absolutely amazing. I used to go to different ones and you know, for some reason it's like you can almost guarantee there's going to be like some type of exploding volcano at every little science fair. Every time someone's doing a school class project, somebody's going to recreate the volcano. I don't know. I always like that one.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, well, what about your worst subject? Did you have one that you're like, oh, yeah, this one ain't it?
So interesting fact, I actually failed first grade because I failed to want to read. But then I went back and I obviously passed because I'm here now. But reading is not my strong suit, nor is spelling. So it does take me a bit longer to get through things. Sometimes I have to read it twice or Google how to spell something.
Listen, if you are struggling at reading and you're about to get a master's degree, like obviously you could tell you put in some work. And not only that, but that kind of gives hope to everybody else. So if you struggle with reading out there, you could still further your education. There's no excuse. There's none. Because even I have to. I mean, like if I'm sitting there reading, I got to go over it a few different times because I'm trying to get into it, but like I really don't want to. Or like some books just use like extra large words one after the other for no reason when you could just make it sound simple. And then I got to go over and like, you know, make sure I truly understand it. But to be able to get to where you are with like having like that type of issue, that's awesome. And I appreciate you actually saying that because I think there are some of the viewers that can actually relate to that.
Well, pursuing education isn't just the drive to do it. I mean, there's challenges for everybody. Like if you take in my instance, when I started out, I was a single parent of an infant and I started education. But now I have 4 boys, one an infant, and I'm still chugging along with the education, mostly because so I was going to pursue my doctorate, except I have to finish my internship, become licensed prior to going for my doctorate. So that won't be happening for another like 3-4 years. So I'm going to go get my other master's prior to doing that. But even now, like cutting out chunks of time, staying up till midnight to do schoolwork, that's a huge challenge.